You mentioned your family, and obviously one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on is what it means to be a protector of our history. And you also mentioned this, Black women, we can't do it all, right? We need some support, okay? And we need some other people lifting us as we're lifting others as well. And so I do want to talk about how do you balance activism, being an advocate as well, along with storytelling, because I'll never forget when me and one of our other friends, Candace, came to watch you present at the African American Museum. And I was so blown away with the wealth of knowledge that I knew you had, but to see you get on stage and to provide that knowledge in front of a group of people, I was just like, dang, you go, Amber. Like, I love this. I love it. And so I want to talk about how you balance all three of those: advocacy, activism, and storytelling, because as a journalist, I know how important all three are, and they need to coexist.
I balance, in interesting ways. I know that the history component and the research and the storytelling is something that I have to do. And so then I started making the space to be able to do that. Yeah. But it's hard, right? And I'm starting to feel the tension. But I'm also like naming the tension, like, okay, you a CEO and you trying to do X. What are some things that you're putting down? Yeah. And so really leaning on my staff, who is really, really great on bringing in volunteers into our work, and also speaking very clearly. I have people that are around me that are like, okay, so when you gonna write that book, sis?
Oh yeah.
Right? When are you going to go on that sabbatical, do the things that you want to do? Yeah. And I believe very intently, and I say this a lot, is you have different purposes in different seasons.
Absolutely.
And really leaning into the fact that I wasn't meant to do this work forever. And using the platform that I have. And so, but also with our history, I'm making sure to give that back to students, to ensure that students in Dallas know about the local history, right? They know that the civil rights movement didn't just happen in Birmingham, it happened in Dallas.
Barely though, we need to talk about that.
Well, and right, creating different narratives around that and what, resistance looks like. And that there have been people in the city doing this work, but what does it mean when the folks in power, which we're experiencing right now, so bad, don't want you to have nothing?
And not when the person leading the city gonna flip-flop real quick, but okay, talk about it.
Right, and so, creating those stories so that young people see themselves in the history and also see the skills that it takes, right? It takes resistance, it takes community, it takes, fortitude, and it takes resilience to be able to create change. But then also sometimes you got to go sit down.
Yeah.
And that's also part of my methodology is sometimes I just go sit down.
Yeah.